We're seeing a lot of this old meets new happen where iconic, historic, classic products are on the rise again. And even new brands are, embodying some of the branding and characteristics that some of our favorite classic old brands have. And why this is happening is because everything in life is cyclical. Whether it's a fashion trend or you name it, we see these things come and go. And of course, now when you look at the food and beverage products, we see these, products like Magic Spoon that are representing the iconic cereals of the past become increasingly popular. I walk around the streets now and I see bigger jeans, looser legs than I've ever seen before, at least until when I was a kid. And so all these trends are cyclical, and in food and beverage is no different.
Well, I'm not very fashionable, but I know all that stuff's coming back around, and I've been talking with my mom. She's been joking about how some of the things these days are back in, and I know that that's always the case. But snacks specifically, I'm sure people just love the nostalgia. So thinking about cereals you had growing up, thinking about snacks you had at school back in the day, thinking about snacks maybe your parents introduced you to because they loved them. They went away for a little while, but now they're back. So I'm sure the nostalgia is a big part of it.
Yeah, I think nostalgia is a big part of it. I also think oftentimes you want that original version, but because you're in the workplace, you decide to go with the fancier, newer version. But it depends. It does depend on the snack. Some of the new stuff, healthy version of Oreos, can't beat that.
I feel like it's just a natural kind of, maybe not backlash, but a natural cyclical change in what is cool with branding, where like everything was really modern and sleek and clean, but then it kind of over indexed on sterile, and now it's like back to fun, nostalgia, color, which I appreciate because it's, I don't know, just a little bit more fun than like a clean modern.
Trends move really quickly now. And so like we're all on nostalgia and that sort of thing now, and then what's going to be next.
These food dupes, the food and beverage brands that are making new products that are emblematic of these iconic, classic food and beverage products of the past, they're taking a new approach. It's not the same Reese's cup, just call it Justin's. It's dark chocolate. There's better ingredients. When you look at Olipop, they have prebiotic and probiotic elements. When you look at the Smart Sweets brand, they're using less sugar. So there are a lot of different choices that these brands are choosing to make, many of which are around how we think about what we're putting in our bodies. And that's their new approach to these, vintage, iconic, classic products.
I like the macros of something like Magic Spoon, the fact that they've thought about like not just making it a sugary snack that's like maybe going to make me crash later or whatever it is, but it still has that nostalgic element of being excited about like a nice sugary thing of cereal. And so for me, it kind of hits both of those. I look forward to eating it, and then it also makes me feel good. And it's got great macros, which helps me to focus at work and get what I need done.
The one that I'd call out that I'm a huge fan of is healthy soda. So Poppy and Olipop have done really well. And I drank some soda when I was a kid. I'd love the Sprite, love the Coke, but for a lot of reasons, didn't drink that much Coke or Sprite or anything over the last 10 or so years. But now healthy soda is very in. So I've been having them in the office all the time. I love the root beer Olipop, and now I go and buy it from the store. So there's a Whole Foods not too far from where I live, and I'm constantly in the checkout line picking up a couple Olipops to take home.
I think these snacking and these like treats that we had in our childhood have created these like moments that that are like fun to remember and fun to get back to. I recently had the orange Poppy, and it tastes just like an orange Fanta, and it like brought me right back to the beach growing up and like having an orange soda on the beach. So there's just like something cute about it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on like Fruit Loops and like Corn Flakes and all these like amazing cereals, and so it goes down to even like the design of the box, opening the box, like the little bag that's in there, like hearing the sound of the cereal like hitting the bowl. Like these are all little moments, and as a designer I'm obviously like paying a lot of attention to that sort of thing, but they all lead up to the moment where you actually take the bite. And so like it's almost less important about exactly what it tastes like at that point. It's about like you've built this whole experience at that point.
There's a lot of commentary that treats are back and that people are having sweeter things throughout the day or in special moments to reward themselves or to just commemorate something that happened. And that is not new. That's been around forever. But I think that we're starting to be a little more open and honest about it, whereas you might have sort of snuck away to have that treat. You know, I think of that scene from The Sopranos where, you know, Jenny Sack is downstairs and she's like hiding, eating chocolate bars and things like that. And it's no have to hide. You know, we can be open and honest about what we're consuming, but the treat trend that is picking up is also usually like a smaller treat. So I think it's happening in light of shrinkflation, where you see smaller packaging and things like that. But people are celebrating through food and beverage, as we always have, but in public ways, to say, I just crushed this presentation. I'm gonna go get an Unreal chocolate snack, or I'm gonna go get this product, and you know, for me it's chocolate covered almonds. Like, I'm gonna go get some chocolate covered almonds and go to town, and I deserve it.
Yeah, like a little treat. It's like motivation. Like, of course, you know, you do this and then you get that. My sweet treat is a Diet Coke.
My candy days, I think that's when I've like back-to-back meetings, and I think about Snickers. You gotta fix all the hunger inside. And I would say the fancy days, that would be more of getting in a mindset to go heads down, get the snack that looks right, that looks like the mindset I'm ready to get into, and then I'll go and eat that one.
The small treat or small reward throughout the day creates an opportunity to engage other employees as well. So much of what we choose to eat and drink and wear and own is part of our identity. And when you identify with Smart Sweets, Goldfish, or when you identify with the chocolate covered almonds, or, you know, that becomes kind of part of your personality. And people know you for that. And so when they see you, they're always going for the Goldfish, or you're always going for the chocolate covered almonds. And all of that is just a great way to build relationships with people that goes beyond, hey, good job in the presentation. Because we want both. We want to be able to talk about things that are not just work when you're at work. And food and beverage is a great way to facilitate that.
We were having lunch today at the office, and Emma Waterman, our director of implementation, was saying that she always needs a little something sweet after a meal, whether it's lunch or dinner. And I think for me, I like having after a meal, especially lunch when I'm at the office, love just going for a little something small. Don't want something very big, but want something small that's sweet. So I know now there are so many good single serve, smaller options. The minis are very popular. So whether it's a Kind bar, whether it's a Partake cookie, whatever it might be, just getting that little something sweet after a meal is great.
We literally have a whiteboard where we put down like some topic at like a 2-week cadence or whatever it is, and it's often about like people's favorite treats, the little treats. So I think it really is in the culture, and it's something that everybody enjoys. Everybody's always talking about it. Jimmy, our CTO, is always talking about 3D printing and M&M dispenser. Which I'm very excited about, because then I can have little treats, like micro treats all day. I think it's just something that we all come together around. We're always talking about like our favorite snacks and treats. And I've been on a few client visits where I hear employees and our clients speaking about the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's not just us.
I see a big, there's a crowding around the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the gravity bin. So I know that there is a cohort behind Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And yeah, I think that would be one. If we would ever lose Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it'd be an outrage.
I like watching people when I'm in the kitchen at our office. I like watching people, I call it the look, where they go up to the snack wall. And we've got a pretty good snack selection in our office. And they go up to the snack wall and they stand in front of it. And they look top to bottom, kind of side to side. They're just evaluating their options. And they're always in this kind of like upright position, just looking, and they're trying to pick the right snack. I call it the look. It's really fun watching people choose what snack to go for. So I think to the question, I do really like talking with people about what are their favorite sweet options, what are their favorite snacks at the office. And when we get new stuff in, it's great hearing things. feedback on it?
I think, it's just all about conversation. People are talking a lot more about the kind of foods that they consume, foods that they want to consume. And, these brands are listening and they're hearing out the consumer and they're like, okay, you know what? This is the market has a demand and like we need to provide for it. And so I think there is a lot more that's going to come of this in the new year. The kind of traction of remaking some of these like classics is gonna like really skyrocket and take off. Another example that I'm thinking of is Pipcorn. Pipcorn is like the healthy cheese ball, and again, simple ingredients, ones that we understand, and the product tastes great. So I'm excited to see what's more to come.